channel. I'm your host, Caitlin, and welcome back to another bookish video. I know it's still August, but I'm definitely in the fall mood, so we're just gonna move right on ahead to a fall book tag. Today, we are gonna be doing the Fall is in the Air book tag. This was originally created by the Book Angel. However, the original video is no longer available, but if you wanna go back into the time machine and look at 2016 Baby Caitlin, that video is available and I'll link that in the description box down below where you can go check out the first time I did this video. So let's just get to the questions. Question number one is autumn. A book with fall colors, so reds, yellows, oranges. I'm going to have to pick Warren the 13th and the All-Seeing Eye by Tanya Del Rio, and I love this book. This book is the perfect fall book, and not to mention it has red, and all the illustrations throughout the novel as well. Whoops. All the illustrations throughout the book are black and red and white, and it's just a good spooky tale for the fall season. It's not too scary, but it definitely gives off some Lemony Snicket vibes, and it talks about Warren, who is the 13th Warren in his family, and he kind of runs this spooky hotel that has this intriguing mystery behind it, the All-Seeing Eye. So I highly recommend you picking up this book, and also during the fall season, and it has a red cover. Next up, question number two is pumpkin picking, a favorite fictional food. The food that I would want to try is in Pumpkinheads by Ray Morale and Faith Erin Hicks, and they come up with this pumpkin bomb. So what is a pumpkin bomb, you may ask? It's vanilla ice cream sandwiched between two wedges of pumpkin pie on a stick and dipped in chocolate. I am not the biggest fan of dessert, but this intrigues me. Anything pumpkin, I'm sold. So I would love to check out this delicious treat. Question number three is Lost in a Corn Maze. A book you got lost in, so a really good. I've been thinking about this book way too much lately, and I keep saying throughout the years I need to continue on with this series, but I'm so afraid of the second book slump. I loved The Darkest Mind by Alexander Bracken. This book I got lost in. It was so vivid, so wonderful. I mean, the book isn't wonderful, but it's just, it sucked me in, and I'd get lost for hours, and I really loved and enjoyed this when I read this. This book talks about Ruby, who gets sent to a government rehabilitation camp, and it's not fun whatsoever. She finds out that she has some sort of power and that the government is after her and trying to find her, and she escapes free from this camp. And the whole story is just kind of her escaping and trying to get away from the bad government. And I love it, and I really need to continue on with the rest of the series. It's a good book to be feeling like you're going through a corn maze. Next up is Birds Fly South. What's a book that made you want to fly south? For this book, I'm gonna have to go with a recent read, and that is The Sad Ghost Club. This book was just a flat line for me. It was there wasn't anything else besides just being a sad ghost and seeking help, but it was just sad, and I wish there was more to the plot and the story. Next up is Sweaters, a book that makes you happy. I'm going to have to go with my favorite fall read, and that is Fake Blood by Whitney Gardner, and I just love this book so much. It's like putting on a cozy sweater every time I hold it. I just feel so warm and fuzzy inside, and I love the amount of Twilight references in this book. It's great, it's warm, and I really love and enjoy this novel. One of my favorite books of all time. Next up is Ghost Story, so a spooky book, and this is hands down one of my favorite books that you have to read if you haven't read this far in your life. And that is Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. There's multiple short stories in this collection that is a graphic novel tale, and they're all creepy and scary and spooky, and it's definitely a book that you need to read in the middle of the night where you have your window a little bit open and the cold fall breeze is rolling in. This is the spooky book to read for one of those nights, and this is also another one of my favorite books of all time. It's just spooky, it's good, and I love everything about it. Next up is Black Cat, so your favorite fictional pet. Okay, so they're not a pet, but they're my favorite fictional cats, The Catstronauts by Drew Bruckington. These little cats go on space adventures, and I just love and adore them so much. And also, if I could have any sort of animal, I'm highly allergic to cats, dogs, everything except for fish, hedgehogs, and plants. But if I could have an animal, it would be like an Australian Shepherd dog, or another one that I would want would be a black cat. I just think black cats are so pretty, so I felt like I had to pay homage to that. Next up is demons, so my favorite evil slash villainous character. I'm gonna have to go with oldie but a goodie, and that's Mr. Lord Voldemort himself in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I just think he's just such an evil bad character, and I love a good evil villain. And last but not least, costume party. What character would I want to dress up as? If I could be anyone for Halloween that I would want to dress up as, it would have to be Bella, and then my boyfriend could be Edward. I could finally live out my Twilight dream. He has like a Peabody coat and he wore it around once, and I was like, yes! I was like, we should just go as Bella and Edward for Halloween, but we went as, I think, baseball players that year. So we still had that like baseball Twilight vibe going on, but I would think that'd just always be really fun to dress up as, even though it would just consist of me just being like super pale and monotone, which is completely not like me at all. But I feel like it'd be more fun for him because then I could like really paste on like the white makeup and spike the hair, and then the Peabody coat, man, that little coat, just yes. Anyways, that is it for the Fall is in the Air book tag. Feel free to do this book tag if you haven't done so already, but I am going to go drink some pumpkin cold brew, so don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time for a new bookish video.